If you're feeling overwhelmed, it may be that you are constantly on the go. You're constantly rushing, you're constantly doing, you're constantly in activity, and you just find that sometimes it's actually not productive. And although you're going through all the motions, you are not seeing the results that you desire. The fact is that I used to run around and rush all the time, and I was constantly moving and striving towards my goal and never really taking or making time to be still until a guru that I was working with said to me, stop, breathe, and be. And they seemed to be very simple words, but it was powerful. Ever since then, I would, in the middle of a very high, intense day, simply do that. Stop, breathe, and be. And it seemed that each time it made time expand. The fact is that there is a paradox. Sometimes the most productive thing to do in order to be more efficient, to have more focus, to gain more clarity, to move the needle forwards, is to stop, to pause, to create those pockets of time that allow our brains actually function at their peak. So the rushing game is definitely one that does not support peak performance. Yes, it may seem that like there's a lot of activity, but there are really two types of activity. You have action away from your goals, distractions, and you have action towards your goals, traction. So it is extremely important during the day, during your week, during the month, and even the year to respect the cycles and the ebbs of flow. You have high tides and you have low tides. And when you are trying to continuously go on high tide when it's a moment for low tide, then you're going to have a tsunami because you're never taking that time to rebalance. Another thing that's really important as we are in activity, especially as women, is to recognize and realize that it's important to reconnect with our phenomenal feminine, to really tune in, to come out of the head and tune into the heart, the gut, and the womb, to be in our bodies, to listen to the intelligence of our bodies. Some of you may have your menstrual cycle, some of you may be no longer. In any case, working and respecting that cycle is incredibly powerful. Your desire to be out there and to shine is not the same at every single phase. Your level of focus and productivity is not the same at every single phase. Your levels of energy are not the same. At some points in your cycle, you feel like retreating and cocooning. And that's exactly what is required at that phase. Unfortunately, we do live in, I would just say it, a man's world. And we're not necessarily even aware of these rhythms, talk less of implementing rituals that respect them. And so it's very, very important that if you truly want to perform at a very high level, you do not do so by trampling on feminine flow, by trampling on that connection with your inner essence and knowing, by trampling on quiet time. It's important for you to show up and come from a space where you are respecting the pockets of quiet and calm that are required for you to be highly intuitive. Intuition is not simply about the information being out there. Intuition is about being able to be still enough to listen, to hear, to understand the prompts and the downloads that are there for you. When we do not take the time to be still, we cannot hear. And this is why I invite everyone to truly implement rhythms of quiet time, rhythms of pausing, through your day, through your week, through your month. So through your day, you could do something I teach my clients called PQ reps. If you'd like more information, give me a shout. And this is something that will actually activate certain parts of your brain that will support you in operating from your sage perspective instead of your saboteur perspective. During your week, you could make sure that you have certain days that are for reflection and planning instead of simply go, 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 right? During your month, we just talked about the feminine cycle. How are you implementing this so that you're not out there in the be like shining a light on yourself when it is really the moment when you want to go in cocoon retreat, right? And so I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you sometimes feel that all you want to do is be quiet, to be still, to retreat into your cave and just really reconnect with your inner essence and sometimes feel you can't? You sometimes feel overwhelmed? And if this is the case, I have some incredible tools I've created which will support you in ensuring that you are supporting yourself the best based on where you may be, especially in your monthly cycle. So, if you are one of those people who really wants to perform at your peak and you want to do so without trampling on your feminine essence, then reach out to me. It'll be a joy, joy, joy to connect. Love and light.